தெரிஞ்சதால இந்த படத்துல ரியல் டஃப்பா ஃபைட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஒரு டெடிகேஷன் ஆர்டிஸ்ட் ரித்திகா அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன உதாரணம் சொல்லணும். 16 நாள் ஷூட்டிங் நடந்திருக்கு. அந்த ரியாலிட்டி அந்த கண்டினியூட்டி இருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுனால ஹேர் வாஷ் பண்ணாமல் ரொம்ப சிரமங்களுக்கிடையே இந்த படத்தில் நடிச்சிருக்காங்க. இந்த ரியல் ஆக்ட்ரஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும்னா ஒரு ஃபியூ லிஸ்ட்டில் கண்டிப்பாக ரித்திகாவோட நேம் இருக்கும். இப்போது ரித்திகா அவர்களை பேச அழைக்கிறோம். ரித்திகா சிங், ப்ளீஸ் கம் அண்ட் ஜாயின் அஸ்.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். முதல்ல ப்ளீஸ் எனக்கு மன்னிச்சிடுங்க, டிலே கோசம். Some miscommunication happened and the flight was extremely late, so I'm very sorry for that, and thank you so much for having the patience to sit here and wait for me. About this film, I think it's an extremely important film because it shows what the victim goes through when the act is happening and just how much a person breaks psychologically and goes to a point where they give up and say, do whatever you want with me, but just leave me here, because they don't want to die. It's a life-threatening situation, and I cannot even imagine what happens when somebody is really in a situation like that, because I felt that through this film, and to this day I haven't forgotten the impact that it has left on me. While I was shooting for this film, or a rumba challenging time for me to come out of the film. Also, it took me a few months to fully forget all the pain that it had caused. I knew I was acting, but after 2-3 days I started forgetting who I was, and I just became the girl who is kidnapped and is trapped in the car amidst all these people. And for the rest, thank you so much, Harsha, for the opportunity. He did not even take my audition for this film, about which I'm very shocked, because usually, everybody likes to take an audition and go ahead. But he said, no, I want you. And he was very set in terms of having me. So I'm very grateful that he had that faith in me. In return, it also helped me have a lot of faith in him. And he has delivered, and how. I think he's an amazing director. And I had a great time working with you, sir. Thank you so much. To the rest of the cast and crew, thank you so much for being so supportive on set. And my one and only wish in the Padathala is that I hope that it finds its audience and makes the kind of impact that we are hoping that it does. Thank you so much.
இறுதி சுற்று, ஆண்டவன் கட்டளை, சிவலிங்கா, ஓமை கடவுளைக்கு அப்புறம் இந்த படத்தில் நடிச்சிருக்கீங்க. Why you are not choosing many films? ஏன் நிறைய தமிழ் படங்களை நீங்கள் நடிக்கிறது இல்லை?
நோ, எனக்கு நிறைய ஆசை இருக்குது தமிழ் படம் பண்ணணும், சத்தியமாக சொல்கிறேன். ஆனால் நான் கொஞ்சம் சூஸியாக இருக்குது. I want to wait for the right script. Like whenever I do films, I want to go back home from a set and think, oh, I had a great time. Because எனக்கு தெரியாது whether the film will be a hit or a flop. All I know is I want to enjoy my journey to the final destination. So I would love to do Tamil films. நான் இப்போ நல்லா தமிழ் பேசுகிறேன், கற்றுக்கிறேன் slowly. எனக்கு ஃபுல்லாக ஃப்ளோவில் one day I want to speak Tamil, and that's my goal for now. So as and when the right script comes, I'll definitely do more of them.
All the best.
Thank you. I would love to do comedy. I think I'll fit there, because I'm a very goofy person naturally, and I have a lot of this energy, and I feel like a comedy film will utilize it really well. Also an action film with guns and cars and bikes, I think it will be great. Something like a Fast and Furious or a Wonder Woman. So off the bat, I can think of those kind of films.
Ritika, இந்த ட்ரெய்லர் 3 ட்ரிப் இப்போ போட்டு காமிச்சாங்க. ட்ரெய்லர் அதில் வந்து ஒரு கட்டத்துக்கு மேலே நீங்கள் காரில் எது பண்ணுறதா இருந்தாலும் கார் உள்ளாரே பண்ணிவிடுங்க, அப்படியே என்ன எத்தனை ட்ரிப் பண்ணுறதான்னு ஒரு டைலாக் வந்தது. எதனால் அப்படி சொல்கிறீங்க?
கொஞ்சம் புரியல.
இல்லை, காருக்குள்ளாரையே அந்த மூணு கைஸ்லையும் காருக்குள்ளேயே நீங்கள் என்ன ஏதாவது பண்ணணுன்னா காருக்குள்ளாரையே பண்ணிவிடுங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறீங்க.
கொஞ்சம் மேலே போச்சு.
Why you are give up? You can do it how many times but inside the car.
Yes.
Why you accept as a woman inside the car? Why you are give up?
Okay, he's saying why did I accept that? Because yeah.
I'll just hand it to her. In the story, it is set up that if they take her out of the car, she's 100% dead. So, and because she has heard this, she has lost all hope, and she's scared. So that's why she makes that dialogue comes because of that.
டைரக்டர் சார், அதே மாதிரி ஒரு கொஸ்டின். நீங்கள் வந்து இப்போ பேசுகிறப்பயே சொன்னீங்க, இந்த மாதிரி இந்தியாவை பற்றி மேலை நாட்டிலலாம் வேறு மாதிரி நினச்சிட்டு இருக்காங்க, ஃபாரின் கண்ட்ரீஸ்லலாம் நம்மலாம் இல்லை. ஒரு ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ணுவார், நீங்கள் வந்து ட்ரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணுவார் அவர். இவர் மேலை நாட்டிலலாம் நம்மளை பற்றி எல்டருக்கெல்லாம் மரியாதை கொடுக்குறவன் அப்படின்லாம் நினச்சிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஆனால் இங்கே எப்படி நடக்குதுன்னு படம் எடுத்துருக்கீங்க. ஏற்கனவே நம்மளை ஒரு காட்டு மிராண்டிகள்னு பார்க்குறாங்க ஃபாரினர்ஸ். இந்த மாதிரி எங்கேயோ ஒரு சம்பவம் நடக்கிறது இப்படி படமாக பிடிக்கிறது நமக்கு ப்ளஸ்ஸாக மைனஸாக இந்தியன்ஸுக்கு?
Actually, foreigners are treated as a traditional and well behavior. But if you are making film like that, what they will think about our tradition and everything? Already they choose we are arrogant like that. So if you portray like that Indians, how the foreigners will treat like any one incident happening anywhere? So if you are mainly focused on that, it will portray widely in foreign countries.
That's a good question. Let me answer this. Because this question has been asked to me before about this film. And the answer is this. Good things are happening in our country. Really good things are happening. And all over the country they are happening. You know, and we are all proud. I am also very proud. But at the same time, we cannot ignore. See, this is our country. ये देश अपना ही है. Good, bad, ugly. We are the only ones who are making it good, bad, and the ugly. You know, when you go to the doctor, you don't say my hand is fine. Check the hand. You tell them whichever area is hurting, which needs attention. So we are coming from that place, and this is basic human right. It's not a question of women, men, sexual molestation. This is a question of basic human right. Can you imagine if you don't have control? Just think for 1 second if you don't have 100% control of your own body. We can't even imagine because it hasn't happened to us. When somebody snatches such a big part of us, that's something which needs addressed, you know. And I don't think we need to be ashamed of it or anything. These things happen in all countries, unfortunately. Worse things happen actually, you know. So we should not be ashamed. It is addressed in a way where, you know, it can sort of bring us together in a collective consciousness and maybe try to find a solution. You know, that is the hope. Ritika? No. And I'll tell you why. Because, like I said, this film doesn't take sides. It doesn't say men are bad, all men are bad. It doesn't even say men should not do this or women should do this to avoid that. It doesn't. It will simply show you in very raw, in a very everyday language. It's a universal story. And that is why the producers, Mr. Sajid Qureshi, he has backed me so much that he said, it's a universal story. There is कोई भी language में shoot किया हो, it will appeal and it will connect to people all over the country. You know, the solution is very complex. The solution, I am not an activist, I am not a psychologist, I am an artist, I am a filmmaker. So I do not pretend to, you know, provide or say that I have a solution. It's a complex solution. It needs education, it needs, you know, the home culture, Sanskruti jo hum bolte hain, like upbringing. It needs environment where men grow up. If they grow up listening to their elders talking about women like that, naturally they'll think this is normal. This is how they'll grow up, you know. So that's the thing.
What was the delay in getting the release of the movie? Actually, it was done in 2018.
Actually, the delay was for a couple of reasons. One was we had a little tussle with CBFC.
You had to change the title also, isn't it? Earlier you had something else.
Yes, we did. Yes. We did, and I'm glad that we have this title now. Because it tells you exactly what the film is, and in Hindi it also means no. Inkar means no, you know. And then the lockdown happened, and then I resat on the edit, and I thought the sensibilities of audience have changed a little bit after the pandemic, so I tightened it a little bit. Uh, so yeah,
You had any separate kind of photography in it? A different
different, yeah, different kind of.
Yeah, you had tried some new technique in the photography. Is it true?
It's not really a new tech. Anamorphic. We shot in with anamorphic lenses, which is what the American westerns are shot. Used to be shot, or what Sholay. You know that they used to call it cinema scope then. So what happens when the technically? I'm sorry, I won't bore you guys too much, but technically, what happens if the camera is too close, like it was in the car? It cannot cover 5 people and also show you background. So you need a wider lens. So we used anamorphic camera with anamorphic lenses, and we use multiple cameras. We also use some American techniques. Some of it, I wanted to cut the roof of the car and drop the camera so it can move 360 degrees inside. Uh, so yeah, technically we did everything. This is not a small film like that. I mean, we shot over 32 days on location inside actual moving car. We could have done this with green screen. We didn't do it. We went on the location. We did it. The BGM is done from France. With Matthias Duplessis, and so it's a properly mounted film, and it has optimum budget. But yeah, technically we played a lot with it. Thank you.
ரித்திகா ஒரே நிமிஷம் ஆல் ஓவர் இந்தியாவில் நிறைய ஸ்டேட்டில் இன்னும் வந்து செக்ஷுவல் அபியூஸ்மெண்ட்டு ரேப்லாம் நடந்துகிட்டே இருக்குது. பர்சனலியாக நீங்கள் வந்து என்ன ஹையஸ்ட் பனிஷ்மெண்ட் கொடுக்குறீங்க நீங்கள் நினைக்கிறீங்க?
I will personally go and give them punishment. I cannot stand it. It absolutely breaks my heart. Every time I open my Twitter, every time I go to my Twitter home, I think there are at least 5-6 news articles that I see. 8-month-old baby, 3 months old baby. Like, people are absolutely merciless and ruthless, and they deserve the exact same treatment in return. It absolutely boils my blood. Like, I could not even come up with an answer to this because it makes me very angry that people think that we are all toys for their pleasure, and this happens to men, women, all kinds of people. It's just that men, I'm glad that now they have a platform. Slowly people are starting to come forward and speak their truth, but it happens more often than we know of. And I don't think any punishment is enough for such people.